Welcome to Makeup and Mess. Y'all, this is Echo. This is one of my babies. She's such a sweetheart, and but she a little crazy. She may show up now that she walked by me. She may actually show up in this video, so beware. Today on Makeup and Mess, you see this face, y'all? Oh my God, beat. Like, I really wanted to try something like, you know, and then I wanted rhinestones, so we had to, you know, give us a little, even while we're going through, even while we're dealing with hard stuff. One thing that has really helped me is my makeup, is taking the time out to really pour into it. And I always feel amazing when I do my makeup. I love myself without my makeup too, but when I have my makeup on and I do it and I do a really cute look, I be like, yes bitch. And I will say that is one thing when I was at my lowest, or when I was struggling a lot, when I would do my makeup and I would have it done, like, it was the one thing outside of God that, like, I felt really helped me push through, and it gave me something to focus on, it gave me something to pour in, and it actually really helped me find myself again. And so that is a part of why I'm like, we're being glammed up, we're doing our makeup, we're looking good while we're going through. That's what we're doing here. We're looking good while we go through. And so you see, I still got my hair done. Y'all, I ain't never had nobody braid my hair before, so this was a first. I normally do it myself. I like this. So I hope you like my hair, guys. For today's Makeup and Mess, we have two stories. Yes, two stories this time. Story number one: am I the a-hole for humiliating my ex's new girlfriend in front of our friend group? I'm already going with most likely yes. We're gonna give you a chance to redeem yourself, but right now, that title says yes. Oh God. Trigger warning. Salute. Shaming. Jesus Christ. Hey, posting from my inactive account because I should probably get this screen. Posting from my inactive account because I have some friends lurking in my main one. I, 22 female, broke up with my boyfriend, 24 male, around 8 months ago. We decided to mutually call it quits and parted in pretty good terms, which is good because we just so happen to share a friend group. After a rough patch, I decided to start taking a bit more care of myself. Eating better, going to the gym, going to therapy. The shift was pretty evident both in my attitude and the way I look. My friend said I look much better. No, that's not what they said. Lord, that's what you wanted to say. My friend said I look much happier and healthier and began gaining confidence little by little. Now, I am a huge nerd. I play D&D weekly. I have thousands of hours of Stellaris. Most relevant to the story, I like to cosplay as a hobby. Oh, period. Most of my cosplay involve characters that don't show their face or body too much. Hornet from Howl Knight, Mono from Little Nightmares, etc. But since I've been feeling more confident, I decided that for the big con in my city, I'd like to try something different. A friend convinced me of going as Viper and Chamber from Valorant. So for the past 6 months, we've been pouring most of our free time into cosplays. 3 weeks ago, I sent a picture of me wearing the cosplay to the group chat asking for feedback for the final details. My ex immediately DM'd me asking me not to wear that. My ex immediately DM'd me asking me to please not wear that cosplay to the con because it might make his new girlfriend uncomfortable. Who the fuck can't? I'm sorry. I asked what about it would make her uncomfortable, but he refused to elaborate. Is he like talking about you still? Like, is he still hung up on you? I get you guys are still in the same friend group. But in my mind, if you make your spouse, your partner comfortable and feel secure, well, that's excluding if she's just already insecure. But why does she not feel secure enough in your relationship for your ex to be able to show up however your ex chooses to show up? Questions I need answers. Because why the hell are you worried about his ex? Unless you was a baddie, and I feel like you probably are. I'm just going with your baddie. In the end, I wore it to the con. Because why are we listening to our ex anyways? He's your ex. If you want to wear something, you wear that. And if it is not your problem if that makes her uncomfortable. But first off, he pulls. I feel like your ex still likes you. I feel like your ex still likes you, he's still into you, because how do we actually know that she really would be uncomfortable, or is you are gonna look so good and so scrumptious in your outfit that his attention is gonna be pulled to you? Because he said he feels like it'll make her uncomfortable, but we don't know if the girlfriend actually said that. That's my theory. I knew he was dating someone new, but I didn't know she was coming with us to the con. I tried to explain to him this was the work of months and I couldn't just throw it all away just because a girl I never met felt uncomfortable about it. Exactly. You worked on that and poured into that outfit for months. You spent your time, your money. Why on earth would we throw that out because some random ass chick you don't know? In the end, I wore it to the con and it was a huge success. I tried to keep my distance from the large chunk of our group because of, oh, that's unfortunate. I tried to keep my distance from the large chunk of our group because my ex and his new girl were with them. But we did spend a good part of the day with them. Throughout, who's we? Never mind. But we did spend a good part of the day with them. Throughout the whole thing, the new girl kept making making snide comments at me and laughing whenever I got asked to pose for pictures. Insecure, jealous. It's jealousy in the air. It's jealousy in the air. Everyone looked uncomfortable, but nobody said anything. Your friends ain't shit. Sorry. After leaving the con to have dinner, though, another friend asks the new girl if she wouldn't like to try cosplay as well. Her answer was, why would I need more attention from guys? Okay, that's an option. Why would I need more attention from guys? I already have a boyfriend. I'm not a slut. Oh. I snapped and told her to stop acting like a pick-me. Oh God, okay, we could use other words, but Jesus. I snapped and told her stop acting like a pick-me-bee just because I got attention all day. She started to cry immediately. My ex steps in asking me to apologize. Is your girlfriend gonna apologize? Okay. I tell him I'll do it if she apologizes for the way she's been acting around me all day. More and more of our friends start to join the screaming match and it gets bad and we end up getting kicked out of the restaurant. Like, what were your friends saying? I just need to know what your friends were saying. It's been 5 days and my ex is threatening to leave the group if I don't apologize. That's dramatic. That's so fucking dramatic. Oh God. I honestly wouldn't care if he did, but some of our friends are asking me to do so to stop him from leaving. Should I cave? Am I the a-hole? Relevant comments. Commenter 1. I mean, I Googled those characters and half of the images results were them naked embracing. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So I don't know how sexy you went with it. Haha. But either way, not the a-hole for dressing however you were comfortable / felt good. OP. LMAO. The fuck is DW? DW, that's a cinematic. We wore the regular battle suits. Commenter 3 said, I'll apologize after the girlfriend apologized for implying that we, the people cosplaying, were sleuths. Short, sweet, and to the point. Let's see his hypocrite ass respond to that. I'd also tell your friend group that that is your stance. It's most fair for everyone involved. Commenter 4. Are they really your friends if they stand there and let a stranger call you a sleuth? Reevaluate those friends. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's exactly what I'm saying. Those aren't your friends. Those are not your friends at all. Because friends do not sit there and let somebody all day be sleuth shaming you or making snide remarks to you, whatever that looks like. My friends, because I also would be that friend. If you is saying anything that sounds like a backhanded comment, if you say any type of backhanded comment to me or my friends, we're going to check you immediately. Be like, what do you? What? We're gonna do it. We'll do it in a nice way. Like, I'm like, oh, so what do you mean by that? Huh? So what does that mean? Oh, that's interesting. Why are you talking to my friend like that? Like, we are going to ask questions. We're not just gonna sit there and let you be attacked.
So the sound cut out again, like the last video, but I was saying we are not going to sit there and let you just be attacked and berated. And so, in short and sweet, you need to reevaluate your circle if you have people around you who will be willful bystanders to people making crazy comments towards you, backhanded comments towards you, or anything of any type of disrespect. If you have anybody in your life who sits back and lets that happen, reevaluate your circle immediately. Take an assessment of your circle.
Now, where is the update? Where is the update? Update. Am I the a-hole for humiliating my ex's new girlfriend in front of our friend group? I feel like let's just, humiliating is a bit dramatic. Humiliating is a bit dramatic. Let's not, let's choose our words right. Am I the a-hole for calling her out? Wow, I didn't expect this post to blow up as much as it did. Thank you for all the support, understanding, and kind comments. First of all, I would like to apologize if the redaction in the original post wasn't the best. English is not my first language. I kind of wrote it in the heat of the moment. Second of all, my ex left the friend group and took his new girlfriend with him. Good, because they're dramatic. Good riddance. After a final attempt at making him apologize, he left the chat through a long paragraph of a text and a block to every single person involved. The two ex-friends who asked me to apologize to him followed suit. Good riddance. Okay, she didn't say that. I said that. I'm not surprised in the slightest since they've been his friends longer than they have been mine. I will admit I'm a bit heartbroken about it, but I'll get over it. Oh, I'm sorry. Of course, my ex DM'd me to call me immature. Immature is crazy. Sorry. To call me an immature B one last time. That is the literal most immature thing to do. You DM'd me after you to call me, and I'm. How the fuck that work? No. Then proceeded. My ex DM'd me to call me an immature B one last time. Then proceeded to block me as well. I'm honestly fine with that. Now for some clarifications on the original post. Yeah, I admit the screaming match was very immature and impolite of us. I don't want to make excuses, but after a whole day at the con, we were all tired, hungry, and very annoyed. Emotions were running high, and we behaved very immaturely. Thankfully, the particular place is used to dealing with con attendees and weren't too harsh on us. We did leave a big tip as an apology. To everyone asking if I'll post the cosplay, I'm flattered, but while I believe I've become a bit more confident in my skills, I don't think I'm ready to blast it to thousands of people on the internet just yet. That's fair. I would have loved to see that shit though. I would have loved to see it. As an SFX girly, as y'all see, as an SFX girly, I'm here for it. I love it. I love every bit of it. I would love to see it. Maybe I'll upload something to my main account at some point, but definitely not here. Just in case anyone wants to know what the screaming match scene looked like, only 5 people out of the 11 were wearing regular clothes. The others were in cosplay. Viper, myself, Chamber, and 2 Mikos, and Kave? It's not my from Genshin. I apologize if I am screwing up these names. and friends from OC. Again, thank you all, and sorry if you were expecting a more dramatic update. I'll reach out if anything more interesting happens, though I really doubt it. See ya. Okay, so for this first one, I don't think she's an a-hole for calling her out. Did we need to call her a B? No, we didn't need to call her a B. I feel like you could have worded it up maybe a little bit different if like that's your concern. But I won't say you're an a-hole for calling her out, because when somebody's disrespecting you and you feel like, especially because it sounds like she was kind of picking at you all day, making little snide remarks, doing this and that to kind of make you feel some type of way. If you feel disrespected by anybody, you are allowed to address it. Actually, you need to address it, because when you don't address it, you're giving them a pass to continue to disrespect you, which is why all day she felt like she could continue to disrespect you, because it wasn't shut down by anybody. Your friends didn't shut it down, you didn't shut it down, and so she continued to disrespect you the entire time. And so you needed to address it, you needed to call it out. It just so happens that her calling out happened when she slut shamed. I did not think you're the a-hole for that. Now, y'all arguing in a restaurant is a bit much, guys. It's a bit much. But I can understand how it can happen when tensions are high. You feel like you're being backed into a corner because clearly there weren't many. Well, I don't know how many people were on your side, but you know that feeling like when your braids, like you just get braids and it's just like make you, that's what it's happened. But I don't know how many people were like having your back and were on your side, but if you don't have a lot of people on your side and you feel like you're being backed into a corner, I can see how we can get you arguing with them in a restaurant, as well as because clearly we know there are some people on their side and people just wanting you to apologize just to make peace. We don't need to apologize just to make peace with folks. We don't need to. You could apologize for that and being like, tensions were flying in there and we should have handled that better, and so I do apologize for that. Do not apologize for calling that girl out. Do not apologize for that. With this first story, guys, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Let me know. Let me know. Okay, guys, so our next story comes from Am I the A-hole subreddit. Let's hop into this one. And I just saw it's not that long, so we got it. We got it. Okay. Am I the a-hole for not backing up my wife when my brother-in-law called her a bad parent? Did I get that on the first try? Bitch. Sorry. Okay. Immediately, yes. My wife and I, both 41, have an 11-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son. Our daughter plays basketball, travel, and our son plays flag football in the spring, which is recreational. My wife is not the type of parent who organizes our lives around an 8 and 11-year-old sports schedule, and I agree with her on that. I agree as well. We refuse to let youth sports take over our lives, even if vacations and stuff conflicts with that. A couple weeks ago, we were visiting my wife's sister and her husband for Memorial Day. They live a state over, so we left on Sunday. My wife and I and our in-laws were talking, and my brother-in-law asked about our son's sports. At some point, my wife said that we missed our son's practice to come over. My brother-in-law started grilling me and my wife, saying that she's not teaching him to be part of a team, being lazy, that is a jump, and being a bad parent, etc. I overheard, but I didn't retort because I didn't see the point. When we were driving home the following day, my wife asked me why I didn't back her up. I thought she forgot about that. Of course you thought she forgot about that. You were hoping she forgot about that. We don't forget about things like that. And I tried to reason with her that she knows I agree with her. That's not the point. So I didn't have to play sidekick in that situation. She didn't like my reasoning and didn't talk to anyone but the kids the rest of the car ride, basically pretending I wasn't even there. Am I the a-hole? Yes, absolutely. You are the a-hole. 1,000%. You, as a spouse, how do you feel comfortable? I just don't know where to find these people. How do you feel comfortable with somebody berating your partner in front of you? In front of you! When you agree and you both believe that a child's sports or whatever should not be everything shouldn't revolve around that. Y'all both agree on that, and you thought it was okay to not support, because that's what this is about. You let somebody disrespect her. 2, did not support her when you agree with her, and y'all had an agreement. As her spouse, you should be like, no, we have an agreement here that this is how we operate and we parent our children. And you do not need to call my wife a bad parent. She is not a bad parent. She's an amazing parent. You let her brother call her a bad parent and you sat there quiet as a fucking mouse. That is so rude. That is so rude. I understand why she was upset. And the fact that you thought she was going to forget that you let her brother call her a bad parent is actually insane and lazy. You let her brother tell her that she's lazy, a bad parent, and she's not teaching him how to be a part of a team. First off, there's so many ways to teach. As a former athlete, well, no, because my mama said you always an athlete. As an athlete, there are so many ways to teach somebody how to be a teammate. And missing one practice doesn't do that. Like, what are we talking about? But also, at the same time, couldn't this be teaching their son that family is also important? It's also important to not just overdo it all the time and not have free time, not be able to spend time with family, not be able to have fun. Couldn't she be teaching him also the importance of balance? Which is actually one of the most important things, is learning how to balance. So, but you thought it was okay to let her brother disrespect her in front of you, which is actually insane. It's actually insane. So yes, 1,000%, you are the mother a-hole. You are an a-hole for that. You foul. Absolutely not. He goes on to say, holy shit, guys, with a sad face emoji. Oh, I guess they called you out in the comments. Edit. The post is 20 hours old. I'm literally at my hair appointment and you guys are still getting on my case. What the fuck? Because you're an asshole. That's why they're still on your case. Probably because in these comments, I haven't gone through them, but I wouldn't be surprised if in these comments you don't see how you're the a-hole. Because you said, well, what's the point? I agree with you, so why do I need to play sidekick? Because your job as a spouse is to be a supportive partner. That is one of your jobs. That is one of your job titles. Be a supportive spouse. Have your partner's back. Validate them and respect them. And you let somebody violate all of those. That's why they're on your case, my boy. That's why they're on your case. That's why they're on your case. Let's just think about this actually. Let's just, let's play the what if game. What if the shoe was on the other foot and your wife was sitting there and somebody, it don't even have to be family, it could be anybody, and your wife was sitting there while somebody said, you ain't shit, you're a bad parent, you're a horrible provider. Somebody did that and your wife just sat there quiet. All because this person doesn't agree with something that y'all chose to do in parenting. And then you start getting berated and attacked based off of something that y'all agreed on, and your wife was quiet as a mouse. Was just sitting there looking pretty. I said nothing. Would you feel some type of way? Most likely yes. Most likely yes. You'd be like, why didn't you have my back? Anyways, let's go to the comments. You're the a-hole. Somebody calls your wife a bad parent in front of you. You correct them loudly. Thank you. Another comment said, and if you don't, it sounds like you agree with them, especially to your spouse. Exactly. This is why. Oh, no, I actually unintentionally did a whole theme here. Standing up for yourself or for your partner. Do that. It'll stress me out. Oh my God. Especially, another comment said, especially when it seems like this was a parenting decision that they made together, yet he's happy to let her take all the heat. Exactly, you are a coward. You acted like a coward. You let her take the heat over a parenting decision y'all made together. And you even told us that you agree that this is how y'all should parent. And you let her take the heat. It's giving coward. It's giving let me stop. That's it. Next comment. That's exactly why he didn't speak up. He didn't want the heat on him. Coward. Oh my God. Oh, next comment. He's a coward. Didn't even say that. We're actually going to end there, guys. Those were our stories for the day. What were your thoughts? But thank you so much for tuning into this week's Makeup and Mess. I really hope you guys liked these two stories. I really am curious to know your thoughts on what we read, what we saw. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next Makeup and Mess.